The river behind Hollow Creek never stopped moving, even when the town did. On the morning of June 4th, 1967, a boy skipping school to smoke behind the old railway bridge saw something hanging beneath it. At first, he thought it was a sack. Then the wind shifted and a pair of shoes turned slowly in the air, dripping water back into the muddy current below. By noon, the entire town knew. They pulled Thomas Hargreave, the high school football coach, out of the river with a rusted winch and 2 deputies who refused to look him in the face. His neck was bruised purple, the skin broken in places, as if someone had tried to strangle him before ever thinking about hanging him. His lungs were swollen with river water. He hadn't died from the rope. He had drowned. Hollow Creek, Oklahoma, had not had a murder in 17 years. It wasn't supposed to have one now. Sheriff Milton Avery called it a suicide. Everyone else called it a warning. Thomas Hargreave had been respected, feared, and quietly hated. There had been whispers, girls pulled out of school, bruises hidden under long sleeves, fathers who stopped talking when he walked into a diner. But no one ever said anything loud enough to matter. Now he swung beneath a bridge, like a rotten bell. And somewhere in town, a man and a woman were watching. Caleb Mortimer Rausch parked the beige station wagon beside a gravel road and turned off the engine. The heat inside the car settled immediately, thick and sticky. Lourdes, Lola to everyone who knew her, lit a cigarette and leaned out the window. "Smells like wet iron," she said. "That's how you know someone died nearby." Caleb didn't answer. He watched the bridge in the distance, where police cars flickered red and blue against the brown river. His hands rested lightly on the steering wheel, steady as if he were about to drive through a light that had just turned green. "They'll say he killed himself," Lola continued. "They always do." "He didn't," Caleb replied calmly. "He fought." She smiled. That was important to her. Hollow Creek was one of those towns that lived off 2 things: a sawmill and silence. People knew everything about everyone else, but they only spoke about the weather. Caleb and Lola fit in easily. They rented a small trailer on the edge of town, close enough to smell the river at night. Caleb took a temporary job surveying land for a new highway bypass. Lola applied at the local clinic, flashing her nursing certification and soft, polite smile. Within days, people were telling her things they had never told their own families. Small towns were generous with secrets. The death of Thomas Hargreave rippled through Hollow Creek like a slow poison. Some people cried. Some people drank. Some people quietly felt relieved. Lola listened. She heard about the girls who stopped coming to school, the boy who'd run away after a special training session, the wife who never pressed charges because the sheriff played poker with her husband. Each story added another thread to something already tightly wound inside her. "Do you know what I like most about towns like this?" she said one night, as she and Caleb lay in their narrow bed, the ceiling fan ticking overhead. "What?" he asked. "They already know who the monsters are," she said. "They're just waiting for someone to do something about it." Caleb stared at the ceiling. "I prefer maps," he said quietly. "They show you where things disappear." 2 weeks after the body was found, Thomas Hargreave was buried. The town moved on. Caleb and Lola did not. One evening, as rain began to fall in thin, nervous lines, Lola opened a small notebook and wrote a name on the first page. Thomas Hargreave. She closed it. "There will be others," she said. Caleb nodded. And in Hollow Creek, the river kept flowing, carrying away whatever it was given. Blood, lies, or the first signs that something far worse had just arrived.